Welcome to Spirituality in Sports. We're here today with Coach Gene Stallings. Coach, Super Bowl, national title, Halls of Fame. What do you want people to remember about you?
I want them to say that I was a good man, that I supported my fellow man, I gave back, I raised good children. Now, listen, I've got an excellent wife, and people give me a lot of the credit, but the reason I've got good children is because of Ruth Ann. She is a wonderful, wonderful woman. Probably does more things and more people than anybody in the city of Paris, really. I am blessed. We've been married for 60 years, so I'm blessed with having that kind of help.
60 years.
Yeah.
That's a good while.
Yeah.
What would you say about marriage to a young couple that's just gotten married, or a couple who's having marital
I'd say
difficulty?
that you made a contract, and you need to honor that contract. And you need to work out little problems. You need to work out big problems. I've never violated a contract my whole coaching career. I could have gone to other places, but I said, look, I'm under contract. And I said, what does that mean? And I said, well, the reason that I didn't do that is because somewhere along the line, one of my children is going to have a problem with their mate. And I'm going to tell them, I'm going to say, you made a contract. You need to live up to your contract. And they would look at me and say, Daddy, didn't you break your contract? They can't ever say that because I never did break a contract. I think that's extremely important.
How did your faith make you better? Winning Super Bowls, winning national titles. There's a pressure in coaching and in life in general to cut a corner here, to cut a corner. How did your faith, in fact, make you better not cutting?
First of all, never even thought about it. I had a job to do, I had children to raise, I had a wife to love and take care of it, and been going to church all my life, so I never even gave that any thought, to tell you the truth. I just figured that's what a man's supposed to do.
We're here today, Spirituality in Sports, with Coach Gene Stallings. And Coach, we really appreciate your time. Nick Saban and Urban Meyer, these two, and Dabo Swinney's starting to get to that point as well. Several of these, there's great coaches everywhere. What makes Nick Saban and Urban Meyer seemingly a cut above the two programs that they just continue?
They got better players. You win football games with players making plays. You can have just a bunch of average players, and you can play pretty hard, and you can win some of your games. But if you got better players and you're well coached, that's a tough combination to beat. Alabama right now has 4 first-team All-Americans. They've got what, quote, 5 stars guys who's not playing, sitting on the bench. Ohio State has the same thing. They're blessed with good players. Urban Meyer is a good coach. When he was at Florida, he was a good coach, but he's got good players. A lot of times, somebody can win 6 or 7 games and do a better coaching job than I would at Alabama winning 10. I used to use Mississippi State as an example. Have you ever heard of anybody turning down Alabama to go to Mississippi State? And yet they want Mississippi State to beat Alabama. Just doesn't make sense. I mean, you good players, if you can keep them healthy, should win most of the time. And Coach Saban is an excellent recruiter. I mean, he's got great facilities, he's got great tradition. Players want to come there. When I was coaching at Alabama, nearly everybody I had from the state of Alabama. Get one from Tennessee, Mississippi, Georgia, Florida, but the great majority of them from Alabama. Now, they're from all over the country. They go to Alabama to play football. I want somebody to come to Alabama to get an education and play while he was there. So, and they're well coached. The players at Alabama and Ohio State are well coached.
Best naturally gifted athlete that you ever coached?
David Palmer.
David Palmer. Why?
because he was gifted. I mean, when I went to a high school game and watched him play, he never went to the huddle. He played quarterback. He ran the ball. He punted the ball. He caught punts, kicked off, fielded it. He was just a great athlete. David Palmer got in little trouble when I was at Alabama. I didn't let him play for 4 games. The worst thing we can do for a player is get him off if he's guilty. You don't have to send him to jail, but you need to penalize him. He needs to know that he needs to operate within the rules. And I felt like David Palmer needed me worse than I needed him, to tell you the truth. He came from a very poor background. And anyway, I hung with him and see him graduate, and now he's coaching. But he was probably the best pure athlete I've ever coached.